been going for 27 years, which is no small feat. And in that time, Sharon Williams, CEO and founder, you've employed hundreds of people. But obviously there's no one quite like Charlotte Riddle, who's joining us today, because Charlotte and Sharon, your mother and daughter.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you, Robyn.
So what's it like working, first of all, Charlotte, what's it like working with your mum?
It was an interesting experience, I think, but honestly one that I'll look back in years to come and I'll never forget it, and I'll be ever so grateful for it. And I think that it was a no-brainer for me at the start. I saw an opportunity and I knew that it would be, that Sharon would allow me to, and she would do this for any employee, not just me, but allow me to try anything in the business, go down each different avenue, whether it be accounting or sales or internal marketing. And I did that, but then also I tried so many different areas of marketing, whether it be social media or PR or even designing a website. And I just feel like I got the most wholesome, well-rounded insight into business and the world of marketing, but also, I don't want to get teary, but looking at her and what she does every day, I don't know how she does it, and it is remarkable. And I think I'm very blessed to have been able to be given the opportunity to see someone do that and see how they do it. And it was, I will always look back on it as an incredible experience, I think. And working with your mum, it's not easy. It's hard. And it's interesting now to be in a different company where I almost can make my own relationship without being the boss's daughter, because that's always a stigma that you have if you work in a family business.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting.
And what are you doing now? Tell us.
Yes, I work for Unmind, a mental health app. So we are built for the employer and employee. We're all about proactive and preventative mental health care. So looking at the whole organisation and the whole person approach to assisting people with their mental health, which is a beautiful company to work with.
That's very exciting.
It's really lovely, and I think very much the same core values at Taurus are at Unmind, so it's a lovely place to work.
Fabulous. And Sharon, you must be incredibly proud to have a daughter like Charlotte that's gone on to, you know, that you've helped shape the future of, but then she's gone on to do so well in her next role and taken on that experience that she's gained at Taurus to excel in her next role.
Yes, it was amazing to watch her. I mean, I never wanted to push her into the business, but I felt it was a good all-round experience to then go into whatever she wants to do. It was, the timing was right at the time. I learned so much from working with her. She's just, I mean, she's my daughter. I could not be more proud of her. It's difficult to sit here and not weep with pride. But she was patient. She was clever, she was interesting, she was interested. It wasn't always easy, and Charlotte's mature enough and grown up enough to know that life isn't easy and relationships aren't easy, but I think we did an extraordinary job together. The team would not have ever thought it was difficult, you and I working together. They would never have witnessed any difficulty. And I think a lot of the difficulties, if there were any, were that Charlotte wanted to do everything at once and had so many ideas. And in a business, you can only do certain things at a time.
Yeah.
She wants to change the world, and she has a lot. And now she's going out and doing it at new companies.
Which is fantastic. And what were some of the projects that you worked on that you remember as highlights?
Yes, so I did here, there, everywhere. I like to call myself a bit of an octopus, but over the 5.5 years I did business administration. So I was Sharon's PA, and then I ended up managing her PA, and we did the bookkeeping and internal events. And then I went and became a marketing executive. So I did internal marketing for Taurus, and that was anything from revamping the 2 websites that we had to social media, public relations, Sharon's brand, the Taurus brand, sales collateral, sales PowerPoints, and then I even ended up presenting for client videos, bringing on my acting experience, which was so much fun.
Right.
That was a really technical video. You did the training.
It was all about sort of,
Oh my gosh. And those big Christmas parties, and then you went into sales and you were doing professional BDM work. You went on your sales course.
Yeah.
Brought back a whole load of discipline into the business from a BDM point of view, which had been managed by me really before.
Implemented a new CRM, the marketing automation function.
You took us into the 21st century, really.
Yes, all about that technology.
Yes, and also your professionalism and the way you spoke to the team. I was always in awe at how you were my daughter, and yet you were hugely professional. Nobody ever would have thought you had any favours or you were getting it easier, or I think it was more challenging for you to work with your mum.
And I think perhaps that professionalism, now that I've learned that, I'll carry that throughout the rest of my career. It'll always just be something that I have to draw upon. And
can I add that the treats at Pendolino's, we used to go out for dinner after work.
Oh yes, so that must be
hit a bar and have cocktails together and sit there exhausted over the champagne at Pendolino's. We were so cheeky, weren't we? We used to go for our treat every now and again. We'd go off to Pendolino's. That was our place.
That was so beautiful.
And we'd sit and kind of go, oh, because it's exhausting running a business.
Yeah. And
it's exhausting working at the pace that we work at and the outputs that we what we do is extraordinary, really, isn't it?
It was really good.
And so do you see your mum through a different lens now that you've actually worked with her? You obviously, there's the relationship as your mother that you have, and then the professional relationship.
Robyn, I do. And I took a step back at a lunch last week and watching Sharon, sort of who she'd invited to the table and working the room, and just even how you look. I took a step back out of my daughter brain for, I think, I don't want to say it the first time, but for one of the first times in my adult life. And I got to see Sharon, the businesswoman, and then Sharon, the mum. And I was so proud and just in awe and almost in disbelief that this was my mum.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
And I think that it's something that as a child you take for granted. You don't pick your mum, it's just your mum.
Yeah, that's right.
And now looking at who I am and who she's brought me up to be and who she is today, it was a really nice adult moment to have, to take that step back and to see it for, I know.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. And, look, there's a lot to be proud of what you've gone on to achieve, Charlotte, and I wish you all the best in the future. And I think it's a real privilege, the mother-daughter relationship that you've had. Yeah. And it's been, wonderful.
Oh, thanks, Robyn. Yeah, it's been a blast.
Thank you
Sharon.
for coming on.